Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Two Joes and a Pro. You have your hosts here, Kenny, Ryan, and Brian. We're happy to have you guys back. My boys, how y'all feeling today?
This dude's moving the camera right away.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
I'm doing good.
Yeah, I'm good. Let's go.
Let's go. Hey, so we're going to cut the chase. We got a lot of things packed for you guys this week. We have our mock draft, which is going to see in a great debate. But first, let's get straight to the breaking news. Starting with NBA to MLB, and then we'll finish with NFL. So in NBA, we have Jamal Murray. There's a lot of injuries, by the way. Jamal Murray tore his ACL. It's likely out for the season. I know that's a big blow for the Nuggets. He's a big scorer for them. We have Trey Young, just had an ankle sprain. I looked up, and he said it's not nothing too major. He should be back when he gets to swelling and bruising out. KD had a thigh bruise. Same thing with James Harden, hamstring injury as well. So it's kind of a lot of injuries that's going on, especially late in the season when we're getting close to playoff time. In good note, though, I know Ryan is a New York fan, so I don't know if he likes the Knicks or not, but the Knicks has been doing their thing lately. They're fourth place in the East right now. Hopefully they can make some noise and make it to the playoffs. And then, Steph Curry's still shooting the lights out. His streak just in is of 11 games, having 30-plus games, or 30 points plus over 11 games, passing Kobe Bryant. In that span as well, he made 78 three-pointers, which is crazy because that was the most of all time as well. So that's a crazy shooter. And then in sad news, we had a passing of Terrence Clark yesterday. Was a college player at Kentucky, passed away in a car accident. I know he had big aspirations in the NBA draft coming up this year. So prayers to his family out there, gone too soon. So, yeah.
All right. MLB.
Yeah.
Basically, MLB, the hot team is going to be is a surprise probably to everybody. It's the Oakland Athletics, team out of nowhere right now. They've won 10 straight. They're hitting the ball everywhere right now. And then of course the Dodgers are still
Moneyball.
Yeah, Moneyball. Yeah.
That's all you're getting from me.
That's no joke though. I mean, they don't really have any high payrolls, like payroll players. They're just average Joes, and they're doing well.
And they're trying to be pros.
Yeah. See what you did there.
Yeah, that was corny.
That's all right.
I like it.
Yeah. Oh, and the Mariners are pretty hot too. They've won 7 out of 10. So I mean,
and my boy Mike Trout's been doing his thing.
Well, I mean, he's the best player in baseball.
Expected. Yeah, but he's not missing a beat.
Oh, I know. I love that guy.
Would you say the same? Would you say the same thing about Tom Brady? Well, he's the best player to ever play the game. So what's the big deal?
Yeah, I mean, I'd play it up a little bit more.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right. So we got. Is that it for MLB?
Yeah. It's the beginning of the season, man. I mean, what do you want from me?
All right.
We got 5 more months to go.
All right. I mean, it's not even the NFL season. I got tons of stuff.
Oh, I know.
So, but I'll try and run through them super quick. The big one today is Orlando Brown traded from the Baltimore Ravens to the Chiefs. The Ravens received the 31st overall pick, a third rounder, which is the 94th pick, a fourth rounder, 136, and a fifth rounder next year. And the Chiefs got Brown, and they got the 2021 second round pick, which is the 58th overall, and the 6th round pick of next year. So basically, go ahead.
Side note, right? Don't mean to
cut
you off. Before you get to
No, you're good.
Do they really think that getting all these O linemen is going to make them that much better?
I think they're just trying to correct what they did in the Super Bowl, where he was running around and protection was real bad.
But the excuse was our O linemen were injured. Like we were ready. We had enough players. We were good enough. It's just our tackles were injured. But it seems like this whole offseason, all they've done is grab endless amount of O linemen. Like that's it. Just every O lineman I can get, come to the Chiefs, please. So like I don't know. It's weird to me. Like if your team was that much better anyway, as you guys said, but then offseason coming, you trying to make all these revamps. It's kind of like Did you really feel that way, or did you really your pride was hurt a little bit? So,
Well,
I mean, would you prefer them not to do anything?
I just said, like, if you're going to come out and say that you guys had the players already to beat them, they were just injured, then prove it. Like, why are you going to grab all these guys to revamp your team and make them better if you guys were already there supposedly? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just my thought process. Or just say, hey, Tampa Bay just flat out beat the hell out of us, and we got to go back to the drawing board and get better. They could say that approach too.
yeah. I mean, I think they got younger at the position too, though, and that's always a key thing. You want to get some youth. Eric Fisher was like 31 or 32, starting to get up there. I mean, NFL, your career's short, so.
Yeah.
And Brown had some drama with the Ravens, right? He didn't want to play with them?
Because he wants to play left tackle, and Stanley's coming back. He was injured last year, so he wants to play left tackle.
Yeah.
So I didn't know about that.
I mean, if you look at the trade, it's not that bad of a trade for the Chiefs, in my opinion. Like, they're moving back. They had a late pick already. They're just moving into the second round, and they gave up, their fourth round, third round, just to get him, basically.
Yeah.
And then they move back. It's not too bad. All right, so moving on, other notes. One of the things you can look forward to this year with the COVID rules. Last year, they were doing daily testing. I imagine most of the players are going to be vaccinated this year, but if they are vaccinated, except for Josh Allen, who's apparently not getting vaccinated, if they are vaccinated, they no longer have to quarantine for close contact, and they only have to do weekly testing, not daily testing. So that should help out with, like, fantasy football, figuring out your lineups, players that are going to play that week. And also, they don't have they have to do no entry testing following travel, so that's pretty good.
You think that the NFL players is going to let their needle test their skin?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Watch.
I think you'll be surprised at the numbers of guys that don't. Like,
Maybe.
just flat out. Like, if you think about it, if guys are not going to voluntary workouts, why is that? Like,
Because COVID.
Because of COVID, right? But if you got the shots, and this is the rules is coming out saying, hey, if you got your shots, you don't have to do all this, all these precautions. You don't have to take as much because you're already vaccinated, and they're still not going. Then to me, that's like, I'm not going because I'm not trying to get vaccinated. I'm not trying to have them force that vaccination on me. Or a lot of guys that I know say the same thing, like, man, I'm not getting vaccinated.
I mean, we'll see.
At least not with the first batch. You know what I mean? Just because it's all these side effects that they don't know yet, right? But I don't know. We'll see though.
I mean, we won't get into the vaccination discussion, but
No, yeah.
I mean, I don't care whether or not they get it or not. I just want to see more game. I mean, we went through last season the way we went through, and there was no issues, so I don't really care regardless. But this should alleviate some issues that we had last year.
I actually hope they don't, so we can have fantasy crazy like how it was last year, but guys don't know what's going on, so I can win.
All right.
That's the only way you can win.
Got him.
Get into that.
And then the last week we touched on the owners meeting that they were having on Wednesday. They did end up passing the rule changes for jerseys. So I think it's running backs, tight ends, fullbacks. They can was it linebackers too? But they can wear linebackers and defensive backs can wear 1 through 49, which is pretty cool. Linebackers can wear 1 through 59, and then 90 through 99. Offensive linemen, I don't think changed. It went from 50 to 79. Defensive linemen still 50 to 79, and then 90 to 99. I know some players. Tom Brady actually shared the same opinion Brian had about the jersey numbers. He called it dumb.
Yep. Because you can't identify the blitzers as well, or you don't know who's coming and who's not. Hey, I told you that's why he would think I told you that's why it's dumb. And the greatest of all time is agreeing with me.
Yeah, but guess what? You either get with it program or you get out. Like, I'm
so
pretty sure he'll adjust.
Yeah, he'll be all right. Yeah. I think he'll be all right.
You know,
they also made some changes to the replay officials. They just improved communications. So, like, the replay officials up at the top are in constant communication with the referees on the field. They can't make them make a call that wasn't already called, but they can help them with calls that have already been made. And be like, oh, no, fix the spot. Or, like, they're, I guess, is supposed to help. We'll see. What else? No overtime for preseason. And they also changed onside kick a little bit. They're only allowing 9 players 25 yards away from the ball. So they want to try and increase onside kick percentages.
I saw the Browns did pick up Baker Mayfield's 5th year for 18.8.
Yep, that happened today.
And Denzel Ward.
Well, I mean, Denzel Ward is a no-brainer.
Yeah, he's a baller.
So is Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I know.
He's a high.
All right, man. Getting into the great debate, man. For the topic we have this week, we told you guys last week, the NFL draft is next week, so we were doing our mock drafts. It's a little controversy in some of our, our mock drafts. A couple of the guys, Ryan and Brian, don't like my opinions on some things. But, hey, we're going to get straight to it.
All right.
So, of course,
let's see it.
All across the board, 1 and 2 is kind of a no-brainer. After they just made that trade for Sam Darnold away, everybody kind of figured they're taking Zach Wilson, right? The big controversy is, of course, number 3. All of us think differently.
Yeah. All right, Kenny. So here, go through 1 through 10, just for your picks, and then I'll go through my picks, and then Brian will go through his picks, just for those that are not watching on like YouTube, so they can't see the screen.
Okay, cool. So,
all right.
For my picks 1 through 10, so I got Trevor Lawrence as 1 going to the Jaguars, Zach Wilson number 2 to the Jets, Mac Jones number 3 to the 49ers, Justin Fields to Atlanta Falcons at number 4, Cincinnati Bengals taking Penei Sewell, the offensive tackle out of Oregon, Jamar Chase going to the Dolphins at 6, Detroit Lions taking DeVonta Smith at 7, Kyle Pitts number 8 with the Panthers, and then Micah Parsons number 9 for the Denver Broncos, and then last for number 10, I have Jaycee Horn, the cornerback out of South Carolina.
All right, and for me, I had Trevor Lawrence chalk at Jacksonville, Zach Wilson, Jets, Justin Fields going to the 49ers, Kyle Pitts to the Atlanta Falcons, Jamar Chase to the Bengals, Sewell to the Dolphins, DeVonta Smith to Detroit, and Carolina Panthers, I had Slater, the offensive tackle out of Northwestern, and that was to the Carolina Panthers. Denver Broncos, I had Surtain, the cornerback from Alabama, and number 10, I had Christian Barmore from defensive. Does it say defensive lineman? He's the other cornerback, ain't he?
No, he's a defensive lineman.
He's
He's a defensive tackle.
Defensive tackle.
Oh, okay.
Defensive lineman from Alabama.
Okay, defensive tackle for Alabama. That's all I got.
All right. 1 and 2 are the same for me. Number 3, I got Trey Lance. Reason being, I think Jimmy is going to stay another year, so Trey Lance fits perfectly there because he can redshirt. 4, I got Kyle Pitts. 5, Penei Sewell. DeVonta Smith to the Dolphins with that Tua connection, Alabama connection, I mean. And then Jamar Chase. And then I got Rashawn Slater, offensive tackle. Justin Fields to the Broncos, and then Patrick Surtain going to Dallas, and then is that 10?
Yeah, that's 10.
Okay. I can't see the numbers.
Yeah. I mean, we could talk about 11.
We'll get to
that's the Giants.
We'll get there.
All right. So let's hear your opinions, Kenny, on why you selected Mac Jones for the 3rd pick.
Well, I put Mac Jones as a number 3 pick for the 49ers just based off of Kyle Shanahan's his system. A lot of his quarterbacks are play action quarterbacks. A lot of his quarterbacks depend on the run. And if you look at Alabama this year, that's the staple of Mac Jones. Everything Mac Jones did is kind of based behind the run, with Najee Harris running the ball and then getting that play action setting up for Jaylen Waddle or DeVonta Smith or Micah or their tight end. So that's the premise behind me picking that. I know they went to Alabama's pro day multiple times. and watch him play or watch him perform down there. And of course, he's not the physical specimen that people want him to be, right? But he's a brainiac. He watched film heavily. He could read defenses. He has a confidence that a lot of people don't see. And he's an Alabama guy, so you know that he's been in a NFL style system or NFL locker room in a sense, like a premature locker room just based off of how Nick Saban runs his program. He runs it like it's an NFL program, so they're kind of fit to be a pro before they get there. So that's my basis behind that.
All right, and I went with Justin Fields just because, like, I get the argument. We've had some offline arguments about the system that he ran at Ohio State and how it's different than Shanahan's system in the 49ers. But I think they traded up from 12 to get a difference maker, and a difference maker being Justin Fields. I think that if they wanted Mac Jones, they would have they wouldn't have went up. They didn't need to go up to number 3 to get him. And I feel like they're going out there to get an athlete, a guy that's going to come in and compete right away with Garoppolo. In worst case, he sits behind Garoppolo for a couple games, but it would not be a long time that he's sitting behind Garoppolo if Garoppolo even wins the starting job out of camp.
Yeah, I went with Trey Lance because similar reasons. I just think that Garoppolo is going to be the quarterback for San Francisco this year, and that gives Trey Lance perfect time to grow. And I think that in the long run, with some grooming, I think Trey Lance actually will probably be the better quarterback than Justin Fields. And I think that San Francisco would be smart to go that route.
See, like, I don't... The Trey Lance, I can see that, right? The Justin Fields, I don't see that. Only reason being because he's a shotgun type of quarterback. Not saying he can't perform. Like, he should go number 3, right? He should go number 3. But I don't think it fits Kyle Shanahan's system the way that the other two guys do, right?
Yeah, I mean, so I looked up the stat this year. I mean, it's not like they're running like 60% under center and like the rest is like 40% in the gun. I mean, they're in the shotgun more than they're in the run. So I mean, it's like 57% for shotgun, and then under center like the other 43%. So like, it's not like Kyle Shanahan's not gonna. He's gonna mold it to the best of his abilities. He's gonna get the best athlete, and then he's gonna make his system work for the quarterback that he has. And I just think Fields brings more to the table than Mac Jones.
I feel like the only reason why he did that is because Garoppolo was injured, right? Because when they went to the Super Bowl, they were majority under the center. They did have some shotgun plays, but majority of the time were under the center, getting their running backs. They had a stable back there downhill running, right? So when he tries to do that with Nick Mullins, and I forgot the backup, the other guy.
C.J. Beathard,
right? They tried to do it, but that doesn't suit their strong points. So then he went to the shotgun, and then Nick Mullins had better numbers, right? So I just think he's a guru offensively. So he's like, all right, I got to make it work somehow. So this is how we can make it work. But I think if you ask him what does he want to do, I'm pretty sure he wants to be under the center and run it like that.
Dude, imagine Justin Fields though, like Kyle Shanahan having that kind of athlete behind center, like taking the ball, like having that threat. Like his run games, like they know he's going to run the ball, and they still rush like over 1,000 yards every year. Yeah. Imagine they stick an athlete back there that like is another threat to run the ball. There's no the 49ers are going to be so good on the ground.
Do you think he's a better passer than Mac Jones?
Probably not. Like pure passer, I think Mac Jones has probably got I think Justin Fields has probably got a stronger arm. And I think Mac Jones is probably more accurate. But I do agree with you on the Nick Saban Alabama thing. Like coming from like a pro style system, in that transition to the NFL is a lot easier. So I mean, I feel like he does have that upper hand, but I don't see like them trading up from 12 to 3 to go get Mac Jones is like, I don't know. I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I just felt like when everybody when Alabama had their pro day and everybody was on the hype train for Mac Jones, that's when they did it. That's when they made the trade up. So then, to me, that's why it makes sense. And even though they went to Justin Fields' pro day, I think they did that just to make sure, to validate that they're making the right decision, just in case. I don't think Trey Lance is in the picture as far as them picking him up. I think it's going to be, Mac Jones or Justin Fields. Even though I think that Trey Lance would probably be a better suit than Justin Fields in that case. But, yeah. That's why I put Justin Fields as going to Atlanta. He's from Georgia for the number 4 pick, and I thought it would just to me, that kind of made a better fit. Spread system, even though they got a new, head coach with a spread system, running gun, they still got a lot of receivers. I thought that made a better fit. But
I think number 4. I mean, I think he's got to go a top 5. Like if San Francisco passes on Fields, I feel like someone's trading up into the top. I think it's going to happen regardless. Our mock draft doesn't project any trades because we just pick it how we picked it now.
Yeah.
But there's no way that some of these quarterbacks are sliding to 15 where I have one going and I think 18 is another one. I don't think that happens come draft night.
Who do you say? I'll ask Brian this question. Brian, who do you think? Do you think that the Patriots make a trade up to grab somebody? Do you think they stay with what Cam has or what? Because that's the only guy. That's the only team that we're really thinking that's going to trade up, right? Do you think Denver makes a trade to get somebody at that?
Well,
at 4 or 5.
I think if New England is going to make a trade, they have to jump Denver because I think Denver will possibly target a quarterback if the right one falls to them. So, because I don't think they're completely sold on Locke.
Yeah, I think they have missed so many times in the draft at quarterback that I kind of think they're kind of trying to stay away from that, right? I feel like every year there's oh man, top talent, and they keep drafting a quarterback, right? And then it never works. So I don't think they're going to draft a quarterback.
I think they really, really like Drew Lock.
Yeah,
I think that. Yeah.
What do you say?
I think they really like him, but they had injuries last year. Weren't they without Sutton? Wasn't he out last year?
Yeah, Sutton was hurt too.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like they have weapons for him, and Noah Fant couldn't stay healthy for the life of him. Holt showed flashes where he was just brilliant, and then he just would get injured and be brittle. So they have the weapons for Drew Lock to succeed. I don't know. I don't think that they go quarterback here in this draft.
Yeah, I agree with
That's
that.
why we went chalk. Me and Brian both went chalk with Pitts going to Atlanta. I know they had Hurst last year, who's great, but you don't pass on Pitts. I mean, that's just.
Yeah, but it's kind of like you just have too much at that position. It's only you switch from being a spread offense to running double tight end.
They run a lot of 2 tight end sets anyways.
Yeah.
With what other tight end?
It doesn't. They just want a blocker.
I haven't seen that. I've seen a lot of 3x1s.
Dude, Pitts is gonna take over for Julio when Julio leaves.
So you
That's
think,
just the.
you said Pitts is gonna run.
I'm joking.
Oh,
I'm joking. No,
sorry.
yeah, I'm joking. I'm just saying that. Well, not that he's gonna run the X. I just think that he's gonna. They may change their whole focal point to be around. It's like Philly. Philly's focal point is always around the tight end because both tight ends because their receivers are trash. But they still have Calvin Ridley, so they're going to be fine once Julio leaves. But having that other playmaker at tight end, I just think that they're not going to pay if they don't trade out of this pick.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I think Kyle Pitts is a phenomenal talent by far, but I don't know. I think it's other picks that you would take before him, but because I know they have other needs. Atlanta has other needs. Yeah. So they need O linemen, they need D linemen. So there's a lot of other picks they can take before taking the tight end when they don't necessarily need the tight end. So yeah.
To be honest, I think Atlanta is probably going to be a good candidate to trade back because they need more picks.
Yep.
So I really don't think they're going to end up taking anyone here. I think they're going to trade. Yeah. But if they do pick here, how do you pass on Kyle Pitts? He's a freak of
But it's
the
like you can
Go ahead.
Good.
Go ahead, Kenny.
I said, but you can kind of say that with the offensive tackle. You can say it with Jamar Chase. You can say that with like a lot of different players because they have a lot of holes on their
But
team.
they've already invested a lot of money in their tackles. They've already got McGarry and there's another guy that they have. They have two like high paid tackles already. So I don't see them investing a first round salary into that position when they've already got two starters.
They do strange things.
And then another one that's different between us is that pick right after. I have the Bengals picking Jamar Chase just to reunite him with Burrow. And I get it. Passing on the tackle from Oregon is pretty bad because Burrow just had a knee injury last year. They want to get offensive line help, but like I think that they can't go run these two picks right here. I have them flip flop, or they could be the way they are. So it's either Jamar Chase is going here, or I had Jamar Chase going to the Dolphins next. I just had the Bengals taking Jamar Chase here because I think it's a deep offensive tackle draft and it's also a deep wide receiver class. So I think that they could go either way and they pick up the opposite position in the second round. I just had them taking Jamar Chase here.
I don't think they take Jamar Chase just based off the fact that they need a left tackle. They don't have a left tackle. They need a left tackle for sure, right? If you get a Jamar Chase, does that make your team better? Hell yeah, it makes your team better. But you still have T. Higgins, right? You still have Tyler Boyd, right? So you got guys that still can produce. It's not like with AJ Green, you don't know what you're going to get, right? You know these guys are going to be capable of producing. So why get a Jamar Chase when there's only one football, right? But
they picked up Riley Reif in the offseason, but he's a right tackle.
Yeah.
He's more than likely to play right tackle.
Or guard.
Yeah, but
yeah,
I just think they're. I feel like their focus is listen. We're almost there, but we just need to shore up the offensive alignment.
And you have to protect your franchise. Who's your
Exactly.
Your franchise is Burrow now.
Do you think Samuel Cosme from Texas could play left tackle?
Who?
I think
Just because I was like, if they can wait till 38, they could snag him, and that'd be a steal in the second round.
But you think Sam Cosme is as good as Penei Sewell?
No.
No, but I think that the gap between him and Sewell is going to be smaller than the gap between Jamar Chase and the next best receiver that you're going to get at 38.
But
They need tackle more than they need receiver.
you can't throw him the ball if he can't get it, man.
Yeah, if you're laying on your back, you can't throw. So
Hey, I just want to see them back together, so I get it.
No, I definitely think he's good.
Brian, I want to hear your reasoning for why you have Jamar Chase going after DeVonta Smith.
I just said DeVonta.
Just out of curiosity.
It's just the Alabama connection, something that Tua is familiar with. So that's why I have DeVonta Smith going to the Dolphins. That's what it boils down to. I think that they are very close in talent. So I don't think you're really going to miss taking Jamar Chase. Based on projections. I mean, we never know until they actually play. But I think DeVonta Smith can put up similar numbers.
And then I think the last thing I want to hear, and you guys feel free to interject, but I want to see Kenny's reasoning for Patrick Surtain being the second corner taken.
Hey man, listen. Coming into the draft, I was for sure like Patrick Surtain is number one without question. Seen the pro day, the numbers. He's kind of built like a truck. He's cut up, right? But
Yeah.
I looked at some J.C. Horn film, just like watching like his highlights. He's a baller. Like he's a baller, and I like a player that's super confident. In himself, and he actually has the abilities to back up. He's super skillful, he's fast, he has good hands, good feet, and I think that he's been in more vulnerable situations than Patrick Surtain has. And me being a Nick Saban fan, not necessarily Alabama fan, but a Nick Saban fan and watching so many games, I have seen many times that not many times, but a few times that Patrick Surtain has got beat on a deep route or, a certain routes that he's got beaten on. Not saying Jaycee Horn hasn't been beat, but I just see it. Maybe I see it more because I watch Alabama more. I've seen it more with Patrick Surtain getting beat than what I've seen from Jaycee Horn. And then when I look back at what everybody was saying about Jaycee Horn and everything, I kind of said, like, why would you not take that guy? Based off of his stats, what he brings to the table, and then his confidence is he's way more vocal than Patrick Surtain for sure, right? And I know that as far as draft-wise, people like that. People like that, like a Richard Sherman, like, I want to speak, I'm going to talk my trash, so people was going to like, oh yeah, I'm going to gravitate towards that. Because I could leave him out on the island, and I feel like he could take care of business, and he can back it up.
I mean, with you saying that, I feel like with corners, like, you need a big personality, because, like, I feel like a lot of that game is mental, like mental game. You just get in their head. It's like a chess match. I like it. Hey, you want to scroll down? Producer lady? She fell asleep? Hey, we'll go through picks 11 through 20.
Yeah, we'll make it quick.
All right, go ahead, Kenny.
So 11 through 22. So I have New York Giants, Jaylen Waddle at 11. 12, I have Patrick Surtain to the Eagles. 13, I have Rashawn Slater to the Chargers, which we need an offensive lineman. Minnesota Vikings taking Jaylen Phillips from Miami at 14. Then the Eagles. Not Eagles, with the New England Patriots taking Trey Lance, getting their quarterback. Arizona Cardinals, number 16, with Caleb Farley. Raiders, 17, with Christian Dressel. 18, Miami Dolphins getting Najee Harris. Washington getting Tevin Jenkins at Oklahoma State. And then Chicago getting Elijah Vera Tucker from USC, which is a terrier, I think, offensive lineman, I believe.
Yeah, he plays guard.
Yeah, offensive lineman.
All right, so I had my New York Giants taking Micah Parsons. This is like a wish list. Like, if we get Micah Parsons here, I'm ecstatic. Jaylen Waddle going to the Eagles. Darrisaw going to the Chargers. Offensive lineman. We had I think I had Slater going earlier. How do we say this guy's name? Penei? Pay?
Yeah. I think
the edge rusher from Michigan. Pay?
Yeah.
Trey Lance, the Dream Boys sliding to New England for Brian. Jaycee Horn going to the Cardinals. Mac Jones going to Vegas. Away. The guy that had like a insane 40 time for Penn State. Yeah. Ridiculous, but you can't trust them 40 times when they're doing their pro day because
it's not laser. That's why I tell some of my boys, it's not laser, it's hand time. I wish I could do a hand time 40-yard dash. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I'd probably break 5 hand time 40. So I got Tucker going to Washington, the interior offensive lineman, because they got to protect that guy with the walker back there. And then the Chicago Bears, I had them taking Bateman, the wide receiver from Minnesota.
All right, don't hate on Fitzmagic.
All right. That's
okay.
Yeah, okay. I got Micah Parsons going to the Giants, and I know Ryan loves that.
Go ahead.
Like Kenny, I also went corner here with Jaycee Horn. Then I went offensive lineman. What team is this again? Sorry.
The Chargers.
The Chargers,
yeah.
My goodness.
Well, I can't see the teams.
Yeah, but of course it's on my team.
Put your reading glasses on.
I butchered the New England Patriots, so it's only right that he did it to the Chargers.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But so I got Vera Tucker going there. But honestly, their offensive line is so bad they can use either tackle or guard. Really doesn't matter. Christian Barmore, defensive lineman. Then I got Jaylen Waddle going to the Patriots. I have them passing on Mac Jones. And then I have the
stupid.
Hey, I don't think he's a good quarterback. I just don't like him.
What? Is he better than Cam Newton? Is he better than Cam? Go ahead. Go.
Yeah. I'd rather
Finish
them
our list, please.
I'd rather them take one in the second than take Mac Jones. So anyways, where am I? Greg Newsome, cornerback. And then I got Christian Durasaw, the tackle. And then
I think I made an error.
Yeah, you got me going Jaylen Phillips back to back, which is weird.
Got him.
Let me try to find
Brian, and Brian doesn't remember who he took.
Well, what teams are those?
Miami and Washington.
18 and 19.
Oh, Washington.
18-19.
Washington, I have taken Mac Jones right before the Bears.
Okay.
I remember that.
No way that happens just because someone would trade up if Mac Jones slide.
I'm going based off of no trades. I'm not. I mean, I don't think that's actually going to happen. There's no way those quarterbacks drop. So.
I can't believe you said that at your mouth, though. You really said Mac Jones is not a good quarterback. I thought you had a debate for why Mac Jones was similar to Joe Burrow, numbers wise, this year to last year.
I said I also
did say that.
I also said I didn't agree with
that.
it. I said I did not agree with this debate, but I've heard it.
He said some would argue,
yes,
and then he followed it with that.
That Mac Jones had similar numbers to Burrow. However, I will also say this: you can take a guy like Kyle Trask from Florida, put him on Alabama's offense. Do you think it looks any different? Because I don't.
Yes,
I don't. I don't think Mac Jones. I don't think Mac Jones brought anything to the game. I think the game was brought to Mac Jones. Mac Jones is AJ McCarron. You watch. This guy is going to be the biggest bust since AJ McCarron. He's a dog.
Are you drinking right now?
Nope. Just
water.
Straight water, homie.
Like, what is wrong with you? You just said he said the biggest buzz.
Yep.
Like
Man.
You're saying Kyle Trask is going to have a better career than Mac Jones?
I think that between the two of them, whoever gets in the right situation will flourish.
That's any quarterback, though.
But what I'm saying is Kyle Trask, if he had gone to Alabama, he would have had the similar success that Mac Jones did. I think the mechanics and talent-wise, they are equals.
You can't just spitball something out like that. Like, you just can't just say that. Like,
I just did.
Can't.
That's what this podcast is for.
Kyle Trask didn't even have any looks coming out. He didn't have anything.
Hey, man.
He had one good year because Dan Mullen is a hell of an offensive coordinator. He had one good year. Okay, don't give me 2 good years.
Nick Saban's
this year
a scrub, right? Yeah.
No, Nick Saban's not the offensive coordinator.
No, but he's in charge.
So, like, listen, their offensive coordinator, both offensive coordinators are great, right? But what I'm saying is that 4,500 passing yards, 41 touchdowns, and 4 INTs, I don't want to hear anything. That's good ball.
He's also got
41 touchdowns and 4 interceptions with 4,500 passing yards.
Look at the talent he's surrounded by, though.
And you think that Kyle Trask doesn't have any talent? Kadarius Toney? Kyle Pitts?
Yeah, but
they don't got no talent?
I would say
Alabama's
talent is a lot better.
Both of those dudes is going first round.
I know.
And you're sitting here saying, oh my gosh.
More Alabama.
Hey, Dwayne Haskins threw 50 touchdowns and 8 interceptions.
That's. Oh my gosh. So
that's a good look, Ryan.
Oh,
thanks, gosh. I got you. You.
Okay. All right.
All right, let's move on to the next 10 picks.
I don't even want to say my picks. I'm done.
Come on.
I can't believe y'all said that.
I said that.
All right,
you guys could script me. You skip me. You guys
come on.
Nope.
Come on, Kenny. Let's go. Let's go.
Go ahead. I have to process my thoughts. Go ahead.
All right, I'll go with mine first. I had 21, the Indianapolis Colts going with Jaylen Phillips, the edge rusher. The Titans, I had Elijah Moore, the wide receiver out of Ole Miss. Jets taking the safety out of TCU. I'm not even going to try to say that name, so that's what it is. The Steelers, looking back on this, I kind of regret not throwing a running back here because I feel like they love taking that running back and they want to get back to that. So I feel like they might take Najee Harris here, but I gave them the tackle from Stanford, Little. Jacksonville, I have them taking Terrence Marshall Jr. from LSU. Cleveland Browns at 26. Taking another long name. I'm not going to try the linebacker from Notre Dame. The Ravens, with their new pick at 27, taking the tackle from Oklahoma State, Jenkins. Greg Newsome, the cornerback from Northwestern, going to the Saints. And then I have the Packers not getting an offensive weapon for Aaron Rodgers and pissing him off more, taking Asante Samuel Jr. from Florida State.
Go Pack, go.
And then go Pack, go. And then the defensive end from Miami, I have him going to the Buffalo Bills. The edge rusher from Georgia going to the Ravens. And then the last pick I have is the Bosham Jr., the Wake Forest defensive end, going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because Three Finger can only play for so long, Mr. Firecracker.
Hey, that's my guy. JPP's still balling.
I do. He is balling.
Go ahead, Brian. Brian, go ahead.
All right, Kenny, go ahead. Brian's muted.
This one was Mike.
What's up?
Brian's muted.
I forgot I muted myself, okay? I was looking
Oh,
something
my
up.
goodness. Yeah.
It's on you.
Caleb Farley.
Mac Jones.
I got Caleb Farley going to number 16. Wait, no, number 21.
Oh, my goodness.
What?
21 going to the Colts.
There we go. Yeah.
Read.
I can't see the teams.
All right, here. I'll read the team, and you read the name.
That's better.
Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, Marshall Jr. from LSU. Wide
Jets.
receiver. Najee Harris.
Steelers.
I got Landon Dickerson. Even though he has injury concerns, I think they need an offensive lineman. Marquise Pouncey. I think it's Marquise. Just retired. One of the Pouncey brothers they had.
Jaguars.
I got them going offensive tackle here to protect Lawrence. So Tevin Jenkins out of Oklahoma State.
Browns.
The linebacker out of Notre Dame that nobody knows how to pronounce.
Yeah. Kenny's going to look it up. Ravens.
Oh, so since they made that trade and they have 2 picks, I changed this recently. I have them going linebacker here with Zaven Collins. That dude, I think, is going to be a beast in the NFL.
No, he's a baller for sure.
Yeah, I think he's going to be really good. Yeah. And that'll replace Matthew Judon probably.
He's a big body, too.
Quiddy Pay, edge rusher.
The Green Bay Packers.
I got them going Gregory Rosso because I think they've missed on a couple edge players recently. So I think they need to revamp that edge type player.
I mean, they just drafted 2, or not drafted. They got them 2 from free agencies.
Yeah, I know.
The Zach guys, right? All right, well, that'll piss people off. The Buffalo Bills.
I got them going running back, Travis Etienne. I think he would be a good complement to Singletary.
What about Zach Moss?
Yeah, he's more of a goal
Would you just throw him away?
He's more of a goal line back, you know.
Man,
So what, we gonna have
suck.
3...
Like,
yeah,
no
Etienne
offense to
would...
Zach Moss and David
Yeah.
Singletary. I know y'all doing y'all thing. Y'all in the league. What do I know, right? But they not Travis Etienne. What is we talking about?
Yeah.
They come in. They're not Travis Etienne is starting. They're going to get the background.
Yeah.
Singletary is not fast. He's shifty. He's not fast. And Zach Moss is a bowling ball. Call it a day. Bye. Like, come on now.
This is why we got
That's what
Kenny.
I was... That's what I was trying to get out of you, Brian, because, like, there's no way that those 2 running backs are...
A compliment. Oh, what?
The Ravens.
Oh, man, where am I? Elijah Moore, wide receiver.
The Ravens.
Yeah.
So I
And
really
the
want
Buccaneers.
I really want to go bigger wide receiver there, but Elijah Moore is so good. I think he's going to be really good. He's only 5'9", though. And then who is this?
Levi
Bucks.
Injuruki.
Yeah, that guy, D tackle.
The D tackle.
Sue's getting old.
He's a big body. I looked him up, and he's actually a big body. He looked like he just eat hogs all day.
Yeah.
Just eat all pork and just is a bowling ball through the D tackle. So anyway, so for my picks, the biggest ones I like to indicate is number 29, Elijah Moore, because you guys keep thinking they're gonna piss off Aaron Rodgers. They're not gonna do it this year. They're not, because they know this is the last team. You saw him on Jeopardy. He's willing to do anything to get out of there. Okay? He's willing to do anything. Piss him off if he wants to. He'll be in there. He'll be the next Alex. He'll be in there.
You know what? I like that pick. If they go wide receiver, I like that.
Yeah, so I have that's the biggest one I have there is at 29. I think Terrace Marshall Jr. At 31 to the Ravens will be a good pickup for them. Just a bigger wide receiver that can move Brown to his happy place in the slot, let him get busy a little bit more. I think that'd be a good pick for them. And then actual compliment at 32, right? Travis Etienne going down to Tampa Bay and complimenting either or Rojo or Fournette, because I don't think Fournette is going to be there too much longer, or Rojo. So if he takes a full role, then that's fine. But if he is the slasher or whatever the case may be, then that's good for Tom Brady because he needs another James White. So
they just go Giovanni Bernard. I thought
they got Giovanni Bernard. When?
Yeah, Gio asked for a release from the Bengals, and they picked him up in like a minute.
Yeah, but that's Giovanni Bernard. He's a scrub. So Giovanni Bernard.
He is a scrub, but I think that's indicative they're not going to take a running back.
Again, I'm going to say, listen, these guys have been in the league 9-10 years. Okay, yes, but Father Time is undefeated. Okay,
except for Tom.
You got a chance to get besides Tom Brady, right? Because he's drinking the youth juice. But tell me, Travis Etienne, you have him at 32, the 32nd pick, and you're going to say, oh, no, I got Giovanni Bernard. I'm good with that. No, you're not. You're not doing it. You're not doing it. If Najee Harris was here, would they take Najee Harris? Hell yeah. But guess what? He's not going to be here, so they're going to take Travis Etienne because he's the second best back.
I agree. I contemplated them taking a quarterback here, by the way.
A quarterback? Yep. They said that they love their backup. I forgot his name off the top of my head, but they love
Who
him.
is it?
I heard. I have to look it up. That's a good. I don't know him at all. I just heard the GM was talking about him, and they were like, "Oh yeah, he's this. He's right after Tom Brady. He's taking the similar traits. You know, we're in good hands if something happens to Tom." And I was just like,
Ryan
what?
Griffin.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I don't think it's Ryan Griffin. It could be. Either way,
that's who the depth chart is.
Either way, the GM said it, and I was like, I've never heard of this dude. I've never even seen him get in the game, so I'm confused. But hey,
all right. Well, hey, that's our mock draft. So if you don't agree with it, tough. And we can move on.
Yeah,
leave comments. Hell yeah.
You know, you probably be like, I hate your draft. It's cool. You know, that's our thought process. We don't care. We love the scrutiny, right? So that's all we have for the great debate. So to sum everything up, we got a little segment we like to call BK Bets. So we have UFC that's big happening this weekend. So me and Brian have a couple bets for UFC, and then Brian also has a bet, a couple bets that you guys can put your money on if you decide for the NFL draft. So I don't know if you guys are tracking, but Usman and Masvidal 2 is tomorrow. And one of the bets I was looking at the matchups on the undercard. We have Uriah Hall at plus 105. Then Rose Namajunas, which hopefully she can get her title back at plus 175. And then Jimmy Crute at minus 200. So you can do a 3-team parlay, right? At plus 706, you put $50 on it. Get you a good little $350. Nice little steak dinner for you and your loved one, and call it a day on Kenny's dime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, are you guaranteeing those picks, Kenny?
Free of charge.
I'm not guaranteeing. I'm not guaranteeing anything because it's all up in the air. Because I don't know who has a glass jar or not tomorrow. But I'm putting my money on it.
Okay.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Is that all you got for UFC?
Yeah, that's all I have for UFC.
So there's some fun little bets you can make on the draft, especially first round focused. One of them is the first defensive player picked in the draft, and I think all three of us have a different player here. Patrick Surtain is the minus 150.
Oh, defensive.
Yeah. And Micah Parsons is plus 250. And Jaycee Horn is plus 350. I think you went.
So you might as well put your Jaycee Horn for sure.
You went Jaycee
I
Horn.
might have to put my money up there. Jaycee Horn.
You
for
should
sure.
get it, yeah.
I need
Hell
to go
yeah.
put it in.
Yeah. So,
Take a drive to, what, Philly?
Yeah.
Is it,
Hit
is it
him
Philly?
to my boys. Yeah, it's
I
Sugar
think
House.
Pennsylvania is the closest, probably. That.
Yeah. I know Sugar House. They take bets at Sugar House. Yeah.
Yeah. And then another interesting one that obviously would be interesting for us mostly is the third overall pick, because all three of us had a different pick. I'll give you the odds. Mac Jones is minus 175. Fields is plus 190. And Trey Lance is plus 325. So, if you're better, you might go 325 on Trey Lance like I did. Just saying.
And be out some money.
If you want to lose. I just
be out
kidding.
some money at the end of the day.
Hell yeah.
All right. We should
All right, that's all you
we
got?
should record those. So that way we see who has more money at the end of it.
Yeah, we should write it down for next week. Next week, we'll write it down and see who made out.
Okay.
I'll probably make out better than you, though. But it doesn't matter. We'll say that.
All right, fair enough. But yeah,
yeah.
you guys can go on and pick all kinds of different bets. If you want to pick your favorite team, whatever their first pick will be, whether it's offense or defense, there's odds for that as well. But I'm not going to go through every single team. Sorry. That's all I got.
Sweet.
Well, everybody, we appreciate you guys coming for another episode of Two Joes and a Pro. Like us, subscribe, do all that fun social media jazz. Our IG page is 2 Joes 1 Pro, Twitter 2 Joes 1 Pro as well, and then you can follow us on YouTube. You guys have a good night. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Later.